God literally talks about it, that has to mean something. People of Israel say they're not going to pick it up because you're the bag. Hello spinners, and welcome back to my channel. So this is one of those videos where I talk about like a new book that I've read and what I learned from it. And today's book is The Go-Giver. Actually, my friend recommended this one to me and I love it so much. I don't even know how I've never heard about it until the moment that he told me. Let's get straight into the video, okay? The Go-Giver was written by Bob and John. I'm just going to leave it at that. And an interesting part is that in the acknowledgements, because I read the acknowledgements, I don't know, I saw Bob Proctor's name, and I love Bob Proctor so much. Like, he gives me so much positive energy, and just like, oh, you got this thing called life and you're going to slay it, and all your dreams are valid and you're going to achieve all of them. Like, that's the energy that Bob gives me. I was so sad to learn that he died last year before his birthday in July, and he literally helped me because I just discovered him before his death, and I was just like, did I kill the poor man? But no, that had nothing to do with me. But like, yeah, and it's always like helps me remember that everything that has a beginning has an end, because sometimes I just see people and I'm like, he's old. Like, sometimes I forget that people die, but like people do die, and it's so sad. But it actually gives me this motivation to do everything I want to do in life, because time is an asset in a way and a liability, and I'm just going to focus on the assets part and like keep on increasing my assets part. I'm just like thinking like the rich man for that book. Okay, but like what I'm trying to say is that basically chase everything that you want to chase in life, because you have a limited time. Life is long, but it is short, so use the time that you have wisely, in sense. So yeah, let's go back to the laws. So the Go-Giver talks about 5 laws, and the first law is the law of value. I'm just gonna state the laws first of all, then we are going to go in depth and start talking about them one by one. So let's get into the values. So let's get into the next one. So the second law is the law of compensation. Then we have the law of receptivity, and the law of influence, and the law of authenticity. I did not state them in the order that they discussed it in the book. That's how I remembered it, because I'm looking at the book right here. So meanwhile, it's about the laws. I am obviously have written out the laws. Let's dive in and talk about all of them. Okay, so the first one is the law of value. The book, we're essentially following a story of a man and like his desire to actually make it in life. So his name is Joe, but I'm not just going to start talking about Joe in the sense. I'm just going to be relating it to Joe, me, and just basically life. This is a book summary and it's done by me, so you're going to see the book how I saw the book. So first of all, the law of value states your true worth is determined by how much you give in value than you take in payment. Should I read it again? I'm just going to state it again. Your true worth is determined by how much you give in value than you take in payment. So meanwhile, I know that sometimes you read a sentence and it doesn't sink in first. Like, you do not understand. It's just like vaguely there. You understand it, but you do not get it. I'm just going to break it down how I got it, because it took a while, but I did get it eventually, and I'm still trying to get it, to be honest. So your true worth, which is like how you see yourself, your self-esteem, is determined by the value that you give people. I'm not like necessarily right now everybody's motivated by money. I'm not even going to lie. Money motivates people. If you want to do something and somebody say, oh, I have the money to support your project, it helps you to want to do the project, because money is the ultimate motivation, you understand? And sometimes the value that you're giving is not really emphasized on. That's the work that you're carrying out to get paid in the contract is not really emphasized as much because everybody just talks about like the monetary aspect. Like now the trend of tech is going on, and nobody really talks about, oh, you have to code like every day to get better as somebody that codes, a programmer. Oh, you have to do this, you have to put in the work necessarily to get paid, and you should aim to give more in value. You should not like you should aim to give more in value that you are getting in payment, because like that is the law of value. Just Mike. The second law is the law of compensation, and this law states your income is determined by how much people you serve and how well you serve them. Let me just break this down based on the video I watched recently. So there was this 16-year-old guy talking about like how much he has made from data analysis and like his perspective on how to making money and all. And it was a very interesting view, because like he's 16. Yes, we are all pushed into seeing people as their ages rather than their persona right now in 2023. And yes, even I get infatuated when I see young people that have like different thinking patterns, and it's all right. It's not a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. So his thought pattern was that as being a welder, or maybe something like a construction worker, that's you carry like cement to to and fro, and you have like a supervisor, and the supervisor has a supervisor. But you being a worker, like a construction worker, the person that is carrying out the labor, there are more people at that stage of being like a construction worker. Like you have like up to like maybe like 50 people that are building a house, but usually you have like 2 supervisors or 3 supervisors that is heading the entire team, which is trying to say that as a worker, your worth or your payment is usually minute, even though you're giving valuable work. But your work it can be done by anybody. Basically, that's the thing. It can be done by anybody, because you are a worker. Anybody can learn to work, but to get into a supervisor role, it's being managed by like fewer people, because not everybody has the qualities and not everybody's ready to put in that work. So your income, because a supervisor is probably like managing like 50 people. Do you understand the vibes? And maybe not even holding that project, but that's by the way. And he's managing like 50 people on the project. But you as a construction worker, you're doing just your job. You're not managing anybody. So you're being paid for just your own service that is done there and then. And you can even be replaced. Now I'm not gonna switch into like you are indispensable by psychology, because I have still not read that book. When I read it, when I read it, I will come back on here and like talk about the book. But meanwhile, let's continue on the law of compensation. So he says your income is determined by how many people you serve and how you serve them. I don't know if this video that I'm talking about actually helped you to understand what I learned from that. So basically, the skills that you're learning for any role that you want or you dream of has to be a role that is done by a minute or a selected group of people, and that the amount of people that you have impact on is much greater than a small certain group of people. But that does not mean like you shouldn't do something like show kindness to like one person in a room because you want to show kindness to 1 million. No, remember, it's about like the intentions at the end of the day, because if your goal is just to keep on like chasing money or like material things, like you might get it. To be honest, I can't even say that you cannot get it. You will get it, but like you want something that keeps you going at night, because there has to be like a whole lot of long hours for you to get what you desire. And I hope that you're doing it while you're happy and not just in a stagnant mood of hustle culture. Yeah. Says your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interest first. In this world where self-preservation is actually like the talk of the day, even I have said about this and I support it. To be honest, I do. I still do in a way, but I will talk about how I support it. And so as a Christian, first of all, like God literally says, like, how you treat others is how people will treat you. And literally God will always tell you to, like, talk, like, handle other people's own interest first before you handle yours. Like, God literally talks about it. That has to mean something. In the book they call it enlightened self-interest. So when you take care of other people's, like, interest first, like, you do what other people want to do first, you take care of people, like, without thinking about yourself. Like, you provide for them. Like, when somebody's hungry, you give them food first before you think about yours. It's just sparks, like, it leaves you as a selfless person, number one. And number two, givers never lack. Everybody says this, and I believe. And about self-preservation, why I support it is that sometimes that you can, like, attend to other people's needs, put yourself last, and feel like so terrible about it. Now, when we are going to talk about, like, the law of influence, you should help people from a genuine place. Like, you just literally want to see, like, your colleague at work succeed and flourish and smile, or when they're hungry, make sure that they're happy and satisfied with the food that you gave them, and all whatnot, because it's coming from a place of love. Because I have understood that where things come from, like, if while you help, let me go back to the book on this one. The man that he took him to in this one, because in every law he's taking him to, like, some kind of, like, mentor to tell him how they implemented the law in their life to, like, make them successful. So he took him to Sam in this one. Sam is a financial investor, and he worked at a negotiation. You're gonna see in the book. But meanwhile, Sam said he started out as someone that was just, like, strictly out for the money, as a lot of people are. And I want to say that, and it's not bad, but, like, a lot of people are here for the money. If you give me money, I'll take. Please, Uju, I beg. So meanwhile, Sam was like, when he started out, being, like, a sales manager for the money, like, he just wanted the money, get the bag, and deepness. Do you understand? And he was not getting, like, money. He was cashless, no money, penniless. He wasn't getting nada. But when he started thinking about a way to give advice, help people get, like, negotiate better deals, and just, like, really, like, help people out there, that's when the money started to come in. Because he wasn't really doing it for, I just want your money, please, I don't want to do all this small talk, just give me my money and let me go. No, he was not in it for the long run. He was in it for, are you getting paid where you should be paid? Are you, like, understand? He was, like, being, like, a sweetheart. That's what it's called. He was being a sweetheart, a darling. And the money just kept on coming in because he had personal brand ambassadors that were speaking for him in rooms that he could not get himself in. Let me explain that. So, these people that you meet, and they're just, like, really nice people, but they never buy stuff from you, but they really want to see you succeed. They want to see you succeed, and they will send you, like, contracts for you to, like, make it. They will send you online courses. They will send you links to, like, things that you should apply for. These people are out for you to succeed, but they don't really, like, do much, like, in the sense of, like, buy stuff from you if you're selling, but they are out for you to get where you don't even see yourself. I say this thing that, and I've seen this thing in so many novels and books, but you can't see yourself the way the world sees you. And that's basically what personal ambassadors are. They are not seeing you the way you're not seeing yourself, and they are invested in seeing you succeed. Let's get into the next law of authenticity. The most valuable asset that you have to offer to people is actually yourself, because you're the bag. You're the bag, for real. Act like it, think like it, okay? Let's break it down for you, okay? Do you like how I switched up my hair? Because I did. So in this law, the law of authenticity, literally, this is my favorite one, because Joe found out that Gus is the connector, and he's just, like, very lucky. And I see myself as a very lucky person. Like, everything I want usually comes to me. Thankfully, thank God. It's because I love God, and God loves me. He loves me too much. I'm his baby girl, for real. And also, it's just, like, I feel like he also has a a thing or two to do with how you think of yourself. Like if you think about yourself as a lucky person, you, my baby girl, you, my baby boy, will always be lucky. Like you just like have your way with things, and you just keep on attracting like good horses. That's what God uses in the book, but good horses to yourself. And you know, the way that you package yourself is very important. I'm just gonna say that on here. But like branding yourself is very important. This is a world of social media, and just a click that shows you like doing something obscene on the internet can just like literally take away an opportunity from you. So everybody, you know, just be a little bit mindful about things that you do on the internet or even in your life, because you are who you are when no one is looking. My mommy always says this, and I'm just gonna share that on here. Maybe you inspire somebody to just be a little more genuine about like the kind of person that you are when nobody's looking and when everybody's looking, because you can never tell. Okay, I think that's that for that one. Let's move to the next law. Is that the final law? I think it is. Oh my god, I don't want this to ever end. I'm never leaving. The last law is the law of receptivity. As the word said, you have to be receptive. You have to open yourself up to receive the opportunities that you have already attracted to yourself. If not, it's just going to be a waste, because you're not even open. You don't want to take what God has given to you. Why? Just like when God brought the manna from... Yeah, manna fell from heaven, right? Yes. So imagine like now the people of Israel say they're not going to pick it up. They said, no, wow, God, thank you for giving me you, but I cannot take it because I don't know how to take it. You know, to be honest, I had this kind of problem before. Let's just be honest. Like, I didn't know how to like take things from people. Maybe it's the thing of having like Nigerian parents, because you know when they tell you that don't collect that. Don't, you know that look when they tell you don't take it. Like when you see someone wants to give you something, and they're like, don't take it. Do you know the person? Do you know the person? All those things. So it really affected like this law in my life, because like even when people are like willing to give you something, like basically as an African, as a Nigerian, it can be really difficult to receive the flowers that you know you are being given to. It can be really difficult to take the things that God has already put on your path for you to just receive, just collect it. But that's why this is life, and we have to learn and unlearn things, because that makes us a better human being. So I hope that you are already unlearning a little bit of things, because the law of receptivity really hammers on being able to open and receive the things that you've already prayed for. Let's go about it as it was in the book. Okay? It just talks about like the part of receptivity, but Joe in this case scenario lost like an account that he really wanted to someone else, but he was so kind to do the law of influence. That's when you help other people more than you help yourself, by giving somebody that he thought was worth the account than he was to take on the account. And now when you make a video and the phone just dies, it didn't even die, that's even the painful part. Meanwhile, let me just say what I have to say again, because it hurts. I do not like this, to be honest. But let's talk about the video, not the video, the book. So he gave his account out, but it came back to him through the law of receptivity, because he was willing to help somebody. Receptivity did this thing with Joe, and it was so beautiful, because it was like a full circle, because he kept on thinking, I cannot be a saint and I will not have money in my account. What am I going to eat? Which is a valid thing, because a lot of people think about it. But trust me, Joe wasn't the same person that he was at the start of the book to the end of the book, because his life did an entire 360, and he did for me reading the book, and I hope he does for you reading the book, because remember, this is a book summary, and you actually do really need to read the book to get like the entire tea, and also know how, you know, Joe's story started and how he ended, because I just gave you the things that I learned from the book. Receptivity is a very funny thing, because a lot of people are not really open to receive what they prayed for. But I pray that you are learning how to unlearn a bunch of things that you learned from your childhood as a Nigerian, as an African, as a human being, and you're able to now receive the things that you prayed for. Because trust me, your wildest dreams can become a reality. But if they become a reality and you can't even receive them, what's it what then? It's not what nothing. It's not what nada. Nada. Not that. There's also something else that God says, and he says it's not about what you do, it's not about what you accomplish, it's about who you are. And at the end of the day, it's about your values as a human being that will help you to get where you want to be, or actually pull you down from the seat that you're trying to get to. So be cautious of like your personal branding, which is like what you put out, because that's what you're going to attract. And this is what inspired me to change my bio on here in YouTube for Spinning with Uju, to how cheer to inspire and motivate you towards being your best, because literally that pushes me when I'm not ready to create, because I'm like, people are waiting for you to inspire and motivate them. And it's better to have that as an objective, as an agenda, than just basically like not even knowing why you're doing the stuff that you're doing. Because I know what it feels like to just be doing things because other people are doing. But trust me, when you have like this agenda, it can be anything you want. You just have to like find it deep within you what you want to actually do, because it will push you on days that you're lazy, days that you're tired, and it just keeps you a step ahead. Okay, it does. So that's it for this video. I hope that this video really helped you. Trust me, like I won't be on here if I didn't want this video to help you. I won't do that. So you can do this. It's just a small favor. Can you help me subscribe if you love this video and you think that someone needs to watch it and learn? Okay, have you done that? Thank you. Because the main thing is that you can share information that you love, that you learn, but like if people don't get it, then it's just gonna stay here. And I really want people to get this information, so it would really mean a lot to me if you just share this video with someone that you love. Subscribe, comment which was your favorite law, because for me, I love the one on influence. In fact, I love all the laws, but like the one on influence, because that's a whole lot. Like, it's not easy to do, it's easy to miss, it's easy not to do, but it's also easy to do if you're ready to start on learning things that you have learned in the name of self-preservation. I love you all, spinners, and I can't wait to see you on my next one. And bye. Thank you for sticking around even when the lightning was low. You're a real one. Period. I love you. I can't wait to see you on my next one.